Spark joy, a meaningful digital interaction. Spark joy, you gotta disconnect.
Cool, man. I'm here at the Spinach King.
Sure, yeah.
You know, with the king himself. So basically, I just wanted to introduce you. You know, tell us, who you are.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Lufefe Momjana, also known as the Spinach King of South Africa. I am the founding director of the Spinach King Innovations. So the Spinach King started, like a community project, I would say, where I went straight to the community and gave my time. I was a volunteer, and I was not expecting anything tangible. I was expecting to learn, which is the intangible part of leadership.
Okay.
I fell in love with spinach because of its turnaround time and the fact that you plant it today and have something to eat in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And one other thing that made me then to use spinach is when I said, you know what, on a logical point of view, without understanding anything about agriculture or nutrition, logically, something you plant today and have something to eat or pluck out in the next 3 to 4 weeks, that for me is miraculous. That for me is outstanding. That for me is a vegetable for all. That for me is the vegetable to be consumed by all, because it's also cheaper and accessible. Okay, fine. Now, how do I know that this vegetable is really healthy and it is really the solution? Yes, I love it because of Popeye and spinach that I grew up watching. So I was always getting vegetables in my payment, and I became a vegetarian, by default, because getting vegetables every day, you're not working, means that you're going to consume vegetables every day. So I had to make peace with that and became a vegetarian. And I went online because I had no other alternative. For me, I had only internet, and internet was only for an hour a day those days. It was 2011. So living in a township from a dusty street of Khayelitsha, waking up in the morning with all these crazy ideas coming from the garden, and then wanting to do this thing, but you don't even have much access to internet. So I used 1 hour a day internet throughout the library. As you go there, you'll find that you go to the library, they will give you 1 hour only. Then the sessions
is it like 1 hour free?
1 hour free for the whole 1 hour free for the whole day. Because before then the smartphones were not as popular, and so I couldn't afford the smartphone. So I was using the internet from the library. To do my research. So as I went to Google, I asked Google, because Google is my friend. To be honest with you, it has been my friend in building the business. Because the first attempt was, let me go and ask Google, what are the benefits of spinach? And according to United States Department of Agriculture, one spinach leaf contains almost 13 phytochemicals such as salicylic acids, camphoryls, and those are body benefits that are there to boost your health and to prevent you from cardiovascular illnesses and chronic diseases. And I went to my dietitian and asked, this bread, there's always this bread, on the list of recommendations. What is it about this bread? And they told me that it's a low GI, low in fats, higher in fiber and all of those. But for me, I took it, to Google my friend again, because the confirmation for me was like, Google, please give me what I do not know, and give me more of what my dietitian is giving me. And the solution was the low GI spinach bread. So I said, okay, let me be crazy and maybe create the vegetables low GI. If my dietitian is recommending this, people are consuming this, and on the other side, the low GI that people are consuming is not as healthy as it's supposed to be. So it should be vegetable based. It started off like that. I went with that clear information of know-how to internet again for the third time. Because now I need to know how to bake, because I don't know how to bake. So who is my friend that can teach me perfectly how to bake? I don't have money to go and study. I don't have money at the moment, and of course I don't have time, because I just want to make this happen, because I've spent a lot of time in voluntary work. Now I need to make things happen. It was easy then for me to say, all right, let me go to the internet and find out there how to bake the best bread in the world. And I will type it as it is, how to bake the best bread in the world. It came just like that through a platform called Breaducation.
Breaducation.
Bread education. They call it Breaducation. So that website for me was a capital. It was an institution it was a university of my own at that particular time, provisionally. Because it taught me step by step, scientifically, how to bake the best bread, white and brown ordinary breads. So that's what I needed. I needed the know-how, and then I was going to innovate and extract and put in what's important and what's nutritious. How did I go about experimenting that when I don't have an oven? So the same now, if you ask me how did I start my business, I started my business with only 4 resources, and these are the resources that everyone has, no matter you're poor or you are rich. 1, the internet access. Internet access is for everyone, and there's a lot that can be done. There's a lot of information, the wealth of information, abundant wealth of information that you can get in conceptualizing your idea through internet, and also to take the idea to the market. You can use internet. Now, before taking it to the market, how did I go about now making sure that I get all the resources I need without going to ask for funding? Then now I was baking from a neighbor, baking 4 loaves during the night and selling 4 loaves, 3 loaves, and doing tasting with 1 loaves during the day. And that was the process and the model for me, where now I was also exposed to marketing. So I was doing marketing. You remember when you start a business and you are a sole trader or you are one, you gotta do everything. So I was baking during the night from a neighbor, not from my shack, because I couldn't use my shack. I couldn't use the shack because the shack was too small, and also it was unhygienic as I was also sleeping there.
So just tell us, the Spinach King. I just love the sound of that.
Sure, Spinach King of South Africa.
Of South Africa. Okay. Tell us the Spinach King of South Africa. I just had to repeat that.
Sure.
So, how did you, grow from having 40 bucks? Now that you've got like few loaves of bread that you're selling, how did you expand? If you had to seek any financial assistance, how did you go about it?
Growing a business using the method of leverage and bootstrapping from day one. I mean, you will be asking yourself, how did this guy manage to convert 40 rands into a multi, 1,000 business, or a business that sells hundreds and hundreds of breads today. So it has happened through this notion and this methodology of using what you have, and they call it leverage. So what happened in the situation is the 40 rands was sufficient to buy ingredients. The bunches of spinach were there to also incorporate or to be added on towards the starting capital, because I needed starting capital at that time, and the starting capital was going to come out of me. So what happened is that I went there and I said, okay, I don't want to go to banks. People have said, wow. Investors have met them, they say, wow, crazy idea, big idea, but wow, who's gonna buy the spinach bread? And it was that situation. Now I was sitting alone, and it was burning within me to now boost the business, because now from 40 rands I was selling 4 loaves, from 4 loaves to 16 loaves, from 16 to 24 within a period of about 4 or 5 months. And then in 2012, I went before I went to Raymond Ackerman Academy, which is the entrepreneurship school of business and development. So I said, let me quickly firstly go and consult Google before I can go out there again, because I know it will be time consuming for me to go and look for funding. It will be time consuming for me to look for people or banks, and there will be a situation of, if I need something, I don't get it. But if I don't want it or don't need it, I get it. That is the situation. So I said, okay, let me go and Google it. I Googled. What are the easiest funding alternatives in the world? Again, for the 4th time. What are the easiest funding alternatives in the world? On top of the list, there was crowdfunding. And the crowdfunding for me, I didn't know anything about it. But what I knew is that I needed 5 bicycles to employ 5 guys that are going to be distributing the bread with me, because now I'm no longer selling 4 to 16 breads. I have gotten to a problem of higher demand and lower supply. Why? Because I've been pushing a lot of health education. Now the strategy is to educate in order for people to be converted into buyers or conscious buyers that knows why they buy. And that's what I was doing. From the information that I got from the internet, as well as the voluntary experience from the garden, as well as from the clinic, made me to be fit enough to use what I had. And that was it. Through that crowdfunding, I've managed to make sure that I learn the campaign. What is it that is needed of me here? What is the requirement? And the requirement was simple. Put what you want there and pledge what you will be giving them, the rewards, as well as making sure that they are updated every day on whatever that you do to showcase that you need this. So what happened every day on my smartphone, I had a BlackBerry. So on my smartphone, back in the days, now it was a smartphone. So every day in the morning I was taking pictures and photos. That was then 2012. And between 2012 and 2013, taking photos every time, putting to that campaign and showcasing the people throughout the world that guys, I'm actually fundraising to get 5 bicycles. I'm walking 25 kilometers every day, delivering these products, going in and out. I have to go back to the Spa Bakery to get some more, and going to the field takes me more time. Now I need 5 bicycles, 5 guys, so that I can carry on ramping the production, not worrying about walking the distance, because that is chowing my time. That was the campaign. Every day I was giving them information of my challenges towards what I want as the target. And the target online was I needed 30,000 rands in a month. In a month. This 30,000 rands is not only for the bicycles, it's for the t-shirts, the uniform, as well as the dough mixer that we needed for our own branch, but also other things that we needed operationally for the business. So that 30,000, we got 40,000 within a space of about a month. And we've reached about 800,000 people throughout the world through that campaign and through that online platform. Those people today are still our supporters. People that have been speaking about us, people that have been bringing people to us, and the fact that they also have been wanting to buy our franchising. Others have just sold the manufacturing license online to the person in Washington. And that for me is also a showcase that internet is powerful. You know, and it's either you use it or you misuse it. So I've chosen to use it.
Wow. I mean, that sounds so powerful, you know. Here I am, you know, chilling with the Spinach King. He's got an exciting story to tell, and you might be wondering, how do I use internet if I've got access to a powerful device that has got access to internet? How can I transform myself, you know, to be a better person in terms of knowledge using the resources that I have? And we have a living example right here. You know, you might be consumed by Facebook, Twitter, any like social media platforms, you know, but there's more to internet than our social media platforms. Anyways, I just thought, you know, hey, I'm here, let me just like summon what the Spinach King is about. You know, I've got
mentality smooth. Yes.
The Spinach King, just, you know, share with us, you know, what am I having here on my right hand and what am I eating here
on the other hand. So it's just the green combination. Remember, what's important is you need to balance your diet, because your nutrition will then work hand in hand with your mind, with also your physique and your inability. So if you are at work, you need to eat healthy. If you are at school, you need to eat healthy for endurance and as well as the perseverance that you need during the day. And one thing that you need, to be honest, is the balanced diet. So with this, on his right hand side, he's holding the powerful green vitality smoothie of the Spinach King. It's a signature. It's a healing one. It's not only focusing on nutrition. Apart from that, spinach is also a detoxer. So let's say, for instance, here on Monday, I've got a lot of clients here for the bikes, you know, because they have hangover. So when they come, they need a detox. And the actual detox is the spinach. So basically, this is one other thing that we're actually saying, that if you eat a smoothie, you are actually better than someone who's eating amahewu. Amahewu is a maize drink, and maize is carbohydrates only. And here it's amahewu for fruit and vegetable. Now you can imagine when we've got that. So that's how we come. Also on the other side, he's just chowed now the gluten-free spinach bread, which is made out of tapioca flour as well as the organic spinach. So it's a combination of gluten-free combination of flours as well as organic spinach, and as well as herbs such as basil and rosemary. So this is the super bread that today we're boasting about as our flagship, but also the first of its kind to be made in the world.
Wow, wow, wow. That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Spark joy, a meaningful digital interaction. Spark joy, you gotta disconnect to connect to spark joy.